Hello and welcome to ClovenCast, the podcast show where we have no intro. We're your hosts. Would the hosts like to introduce themselves?
Hello, my name is Maple. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Christy, Animechristy, aka that weeb over there.
Hello. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Hi, I'm Springheart, the llama. Hi.
And hello, I'm Spirit, the crazy no longer a Dur lady. So, for those who are tuning in on the YouTube side of things, this is a part 2 of our RAMCon Charity stream. We are currently raising money for Feeding America. So, for those who are currently watching in the chat who may be new arrivals, the way that you submit your donation is that there's a little donate widget beneath the stream. You click on the button that says donate, and you can go there, and it will take you to a Streamlabs donation. You have to donate at least $5 or more. The larger donation, the better, so that we can reach our goal, because we currently have an hour left, and we're only taking submissions for another 30 minutes. But I can see that we've already gotten a few submissions since we were out. But so we're gonna go ahead. For those who are tuning in, the current order is Mapleicious, Animechristy. Oh wait, it was Maple, Spring, Christy, then me, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, Maple, Spring, Christy, and myself. I got us mixed up for a minute. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and pick up the next ref sheet. I know this is a little different from our usual format, guys. And we're gonna do Rocky Harmony. Rocky is one of our volunteers, actually. So thank you for donating, Rocky.
Thank you for donating.
And I'm gonna scale this up. And I'll drop it in the chat. So, boop-a-doo. And it is uploading. So, I'm gonna grab the timer. And Maple, are you ready?
I guess.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1.
Alright. Well, first of all, cute character, chubby kangaroo, so you know what? I dig it. One thing that I did learn though, if you go for realistic character design, that kangaroos have like spears of death for feet, and I have to thank Twitter for pointing that out to me. But I doubt we're going for realism here because it's a Soda-roo. So cute feet, thank God they're not spears of death. I mean, basing it off of Soda, I think the color schemes are alright. I think everything's okay. Nothing too standouty, but he's a cute kind of character, and I don't really have too much to add or change, I guess, about him. So I'll just pass it off to Spring.
Okay. I see that they are based off of a soda. That is I like that. That's cool. I guess Soda-roo is a thing. I like it. I think I like the little the darker red lines. I like that. I would even dare say, because it's based on a soda, you could even add like some little like dots on
Like
your
bubbles.
yeah, so they would represent like bubbles on your character. That would be really cool. That would be my only advice, is if you're based off a soda, get some bubbles in there. Chrissy?
Okay, so I know it's a little off to the side, but I think like adding that cute little like blue sweater also adds into like a cute little soft boy vibes. There's not much I can say other than I like the fact that it's based on the soda. It's a cute boy. Although I feel like it needs just like another slight variety of color. Maybe in the eyes? Question mark? Spirit?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I think I'm also kind of the same mind where the eyes don't really stand out too much, and I can't really get a read on what color they're actually supposed to be. They seem to be gray, but I think if it were me, Maybe go with like a blue to contrast the orange. And honestly, I can't really think of a whole lot of issues here. One thing I would maybe consider, and this is not a requirement, is distributing a little bit more of this color. Nope, wrong layer. This color here throughout the body. And another thing that I want you guys to at least take note of, and this is something that ties into character design, is these little floating shapes here. Floating shapes are not something that you want to feature when it comes to a character design. I'm going to make... That's not visible either. Hang on. There. So floating shapes. You want to avoid having floating shapes on the body. When the shapes don't have any form of anchor point or place where people can easily reference them, then it'll be difficult for them to basically really make them shape properly, especially if you're going to have it be realistic to the style or have it follow the contour of the body. So if you're going to do these, I would highly recommend having anchor points. So I know I drew all over this, but if I color this in real quick and I take this, what I would do is I would have it arc along the back like this and follow along its own thing. And then that way, that's another thing too, is that with this tail, I can't tell what this tail is doing when it comes to how the markings are working.
Yeah.
And so especially if you're planning on getting a 3D model or something like that, that's going to be very difficult. I do think this is maybe just an idea, but maybe have this darker orange on the hair, and then if we have the blue in the eyes, that'll help the eyes stand out a bit. That's mostly just my opinion, though. It's a pretty solid character design overall, just needs a little bit of tweaking. But I think, yeah, good stuff. Good show.
Yeah.
So thank you for donating, Rocky. We're going to go ahead, Andrew the Wolf. I'm getting pinged on Discord. I'm sorry to anyone who's pinging me on Discord. You're going to have to wait. Copy image. I like this one. I'm actually digging it. Let me post it real quick. It might just be the style. I don't know why. It's super fluffy. Okay, dropping it in the recording room. Maple, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1.
Well, he's okay. One thing I would change, sorry off with the positives. He's cute. Alright? He's a cute character. One thing I would change, though, is I would bring the white off of, his upper chest and just have that go, just start at the base of his neck, no line there, and then just have it come all the way down and then wrap around and just have it connect to the tail. Sort of thing, right? Just because now, his belly's looking really, really empty in that aspect. Love, the big hands, definitely a personal taste thing, and not everybody's gonna like it, but you know what? I'm kind of digging it. So with that all said, I guess I'm done.
Okay. So I like the color palette. But the thing, he's very fluffy boy. The thing I would one thing I love, I absolutely love this is you've got it looks like rain droplets on the back, mwah, I love it. But what I would do is on the front, you have, it almost looks like a brown collar. Bring all the black in there because it looks very, it looks a bit off. So I would make all of that around the white fluff black at the top. Also, at the bottom brown that connects the white, you have this black line. And if you look at the back reference, you can't see that black at all. So it's very jarring. I can't figure out, my brain can't figure out where those lines are. So that's an issue right there. That's something that either take out or fix. So yeah, Animechristy.
Tony the tiger and the Cookie Crisp wolf made an adorable love child,
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
what I see in this character.
Mhm.
It looks very tiger-like in its markings, and it's a really fluffy boy.
Mm.
Um, I think the only thing that's kind of weird is like around the neck where it like has like that little cut off like between like the head and like the white fur. I
Mhm.
feel like that like orange part like around its neck needs to be taken off so like the little white chest floof can pop out.
Like the collar looking thing.
Yeah, it just does not work in this case, but if you take that out,
I mean, you could just
it
give them a
looks a
collar.
little bit more solid in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett?
Yeah, I'm experimenting with it. It's a very solid character design. I think my main thing that I would do with this character is understanding the shapes and tropes that you want to incorporate. So I'm seeing a lot of different shapes. I'm seeing like round teardrops, I'm seeing hearts, and I'm seeing stripes. I am seeing like triangles, and I think your main goal here is you're going to want to pick a single design trope. So if you're gonna want to have the stripes, then stick with the stripes and go all out with them. I think that'll make him look a little bit more tiger-like the others said. But I think especially when it comes to with the rounder shapes, I'm personally more interested in the rounder shapes on the body, especially like with a silver saddle, kind of like this kind of thing, like that. But I think the tiger stripes, it's either or. I don't think you should go with both. You can have like a little stripe to make the white like serve as a border thingy for the white if you really want it. But other than that, I think it should be an either or rather than both, just because it makes the design very confusing. And especially if you're going to get a suit made, you want to have simpler shapes, because the more complex shape, the more maintenance it's going to take and the harder it is going to be for someone to make it. And it has the same issue with the floating shapes, where it's more difficult to replicate every time. Anytime you have a more complex character, the more complex it is, the more difficult it's going to be to replicate. But I think that's all I have to say for this one.
I've just noticed one more thing. So if you look at the perspective, looking at the back, he's got that extra like neck fluff on the back, but you don't see it reflected on the front view. So that's one thing I would maybe adjust, is like make sure that like all
Symmetry.
the fluff is represented all the way around the body. It could be an art thing, but it's something that I noticed where it's like there isn't consistency with that. Does he have a fluffy neck or doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's our timer, so we're gonna have to go ahead. Thank you for donating. It's a very cute character.
Yes. Thank you for donating.
Thank you.
We got our next one from Dock Houses. Copy the image. This is gonna be another difficult one, guys.
And our donations are only going to be open for another 15 minutes, correct?
Yeah, we're only taking submissions for the next 15 minutes, so if you guys are wanting to get your character critiqued on podcast, you're gonna have to get them submitted now. Even if we don't get to all of you now during the stream, if we have overflow, we'll record another episode. But
How many do you know how many we have in the till to do?
currently in remaining after this one we have 3.
Okay.
So we don't have a whole lot. That's gonna be 15 minutes worth after this one. So
Okay.
Scratch that. We have one from Orthodox. Oh, Orthodox didn't even include a character. They're just being nice. Thank you, Orthodox.
Aww.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes, ClovenCast, you can donate if you just want to donate. You aren't required to submit a character if you don't want.
Yeah, if you just want to, like, if you just like, I have $1 or like $3 or don't have an OC, just by all means, like,
yeah, we're more focused on the charity than anything. The character critiques are just a bonus. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the timer. Maple, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Well, overall, I would say this guy is, or this them, is they're rather balanced when it comes to their character. Fluffy, husky, nothing really off to me. I'm really digging them. So with that said, like 9 out of 10 character. So just yeah, I guess I'll just kind of pass that off to Spring.
Libra, you remind me of Bolto. That is all I can think of when I look at this character is the movie Bolto. And I
It's an
absolutely love it. 10 out of 10. Just gotta pull a dog sled. Yeah. I think if I really had to get nitpicky with your character, there's a little tiny bit of brown fluff on the chest. Maybe make that a bit more, either get away or like make it more obvious, because it's just a tiny bit, and no, more. Yeah, and maybe something around the feet, because it's all weight. That's all I got. I got nothing. It's great. Bolt up. Yeah. Animechristy.
Okay, so I initially have a bias with this character only because of the name Libra. I am a Libra. That is my astrological sign. Oh. Okay, anyways, now onto the actual character part. I kind of agree with you, Spring, regarding the tan chest floof, like in the center.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've seen dogs, like, in real life that kind of have something like that going on with them. However, the only thing I would do to fix that, in order to make it more believable, is have it be, like, a slight gradient. If that makes any sense to anybody. Like, maybe fade it out instead of making it, like, a prevalent part. Because it wouldn't work in any other context. And, yeah, add a little something brown, like, to the hind legs. Barrett?
So I'm having a little bit of trouble, but something that I did notice is there is this dark brown color that isn't used too much throughout the design. So it's on the back of the ears and at the tip of the tail, but I don't see it anywhere else. So I'm thinking the only thing that I would change about this character is I would distribute this color a little bit more throughout the character. Maybe put them here on the fingers, like that. And I would maybe also maybe just like a little bit more on the back, just somewhere to make it a little bit more prominent. It's not a whole lot of it's not like you don't have to add a whole lot, just a little bit more. But that's the only way that's the only thing that I would actually change. So go ahead. I think we can. I know this was short, but honestly, it's because it's a really solid character. Nothing really needs to get changed, so I will go ahead and cancel the timer. We just got another donation. Thank you for donating. Go ahead and delete this layer. Frostcaster. Copy image. Hey guys, we're doing a dragon.
Dragon?
We're doing a dragon. I
Dragon?
know Spring's gonna be happy about that.
I do like a dragon to talk about.
It's a pretty dragon. Fuck.
Oh, and the files are too powerful. Hang on. I'm gonna have to.
Thank you
copy
for the
that.
donation.
Thank you.
Oh, we are cutting off at like 10 minutes, aren't we?
Yeah, we're
Yep.
cutting off. We're cutting off any additional submissions. Donations will still be open, but we will not be taking any more character submissions after 4:30 because we have limited time.
4:30 Eastern, just so that's clear.
Yeah, so it is currently 4:21, so we have 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead. Maple, 3, 2, 1.
Very cold color design, I'll say that first, and absolutely adorable. Like, she's a character that I would imagine being like the bubbly one in the Spyro universe thing. I would maybe, again, I don't really have much time to really point out how to fix it, but I know that my eye isn't really being drawn to the face specifically. So something, I'm sure somebody else will figure out how and what can be done there. But I feel like there's just something that just needs to be like, okay, this is where my eye gravitates to, because I'm just going immediately to the wings, right? And which, not a bad thing when it comes to a dragon, I hope. And then I think there should be a little bit more going on with her legs as well. Like if the markings came down her legs a little bit more too. But other than that, adorable. And I would give her a pat and dragon treats. Spring?
Okay, Esther. This is one of our vendors in the vendor hall. A purple dragon, that is the name of their table. Ah, I love this character so much. Because I've looked at this dragon for quite a while. It's a purple dragon. Who doesn't like purple? I think, yeah, this going off of Maple. Maybe like my eyes go to the wings first. So maybe if, like, I don't know if you made the hair the light blue or even a white, just so that you're trying to get your eyes to the face. Because, like, look at that cute shocked expression. Like, I love it. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Christy.
I want to adopt her. Oh my god. I'm a huge fan of this character. I'm a fan of like how it looks. I'm a fan of the color palette. The only thing I'm not much of a fan of is like the stripes inside the ears. I'm not really, I don't understand that personally. But other than that, I just want to adopt her. Oh my gosh, she just looks so... yes! Spirit. Articulate.
Okay, I think I'll try and translate the ramblings of the Crazy Christy. That's gonna be your new nickname. Overall, I think the character design is actually really solid. I do agree that adding some more markings to the legs and distributing that would probably be a good route to go. I did try doing, I think if you're gonna have the stripes in the ears, you either gotta go two routes. You either gotta have the stripes distributed to the rest of the body, or we have or we cut the stripes. And they're very pretty, but at the same time, having that individual detail is going to make it, kind of difficult for people to read the character. So something that I'm thinking of is that, if you make the underside of the wings blue, like the base of the belly, since it's kind of like the same skin, then it'll help draw the eye to the face more. And, yeah, honestly, that's all I can add. I actually really dig the little markings on the eyes. It gives good vibes. Good stuff.
Good vibe.
But, yeah, I think that's all that I have to add, so I'll go ahead. Cancel the timer. We had a few seconds left.
Thank you.
And thank you for the character.
Want to adopt her, gimme. I want to hug her.
Also, I realized other vendors have donated and I didn't say your channel names. I'm sorry.
Go browse the vendor hall if you haven't already, because our vendors are amazing and we love them.
I've only made one sale.
Oh yeah, Christy's a vendor too. Go to Christy's table, guys.
Please.
Bright Crystal
Todd.
Studios.
Todd's one.
Need college money.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So this one is submitted by Master Banana Cat. So starting the timer in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Well, I'm not really seeing anything off the bat. I feel a bit more indifferent towards this character. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the blue and green in it, but I'm like just a whole lot of unsureness with it. I can't quite put my finger on it quite yet. So I'll just pass it off to Spring. 'Cause I just
All right. This character design reminds me a lot of like a like high school kind of. I don't know if that's what you're going like something I would do in high school, kind of like ripped jeans, like a scarf, like coat. And I'm sorry if that offended. I'm not trying to, but I'm trying to wrap my head around this character. Yeah, I'm maybe something's off, and I can't. Maybe is it the ears? It might be the ear shape. I'm not 100% sure. Something's off. Animechristy.
Okay, first off, this character looks exactly how I friggin' dressed in high school. Oh my god.
I figured it out.
Second, I can't tell what's behind this character's back. It looks like it might be wings or a very extremely bushy tail. I'm not sure.
I'm guessing it's tail because it looks like a skunk to me.
I honestly can't tell, but I feel like I need to see a little bit more of the character, like through a reference sheet, in order to understand, like, how the design is overall. I think it needs a little bit more color pop rather than like those super bright greens and even that darkish yet bright blue for like the jeans. If you're going grungy, then go grungy. Spirit?
Spirit, can I quickly jump in because I realized what was bugging me?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
There's double eyebrows.
Wait, what?
Okay, there's a black line,
Oh my God,
and then there's an eyebrow above it. No, you gotta no, take that out.
Hang on, I got you covered. So I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah, that's interesting. Definitely, like that.
That's what's throwing me off, is that there's double eyebrows.
I think if it were me, and this is just me, is that if you're gonna have a dark character, you gotta, their jacket has to contrast a little bit with them. Because if you have it to where they're the same color, it blends into itself and it makes the silhouette harder to read. So give me a minute to really fill this in. But another thing too is that, yeah, it's a little difficult. It was hard for me to tell that this was a skunk until I looked at the tail. And the only reason why I could guess that it was a skunk to begin with, initially I thought it was a squirrel or something like that, is because of the stripes. So I think if it were my personal recommendation, I would darken the jacket and maybe just make it a little bit more clear what species they are, because the ears and everything are correct if it is a skunk.
Okay.
But it was a little bit difficult to tell. But other than that, I don't have anything to add.
And then they popped in chat saying that they made the pants black in later photos, which I know they were a bit too blue for my taste. So that I think that's a good change. Make them more of a darker denim, I guess, or black. Yeah.
See, you know what makes it worse is the fact that I wear denim jeans and a denim jacket and a scarf on a regular basis.
Oh, you 90s kid.
I'm a 90s kid who's, like, I'm not even a 90s kid. You and I are both on the cusp. But, yeah, so...
like, 90s but not.
I just have that vibe. Like, anyone who watches my videos would know, like, what my character looks like. Okay, so we're at 4:30, so I'm gonna go ahead. I need to edit the panels real quick.
And again, just to reiterate, we are like not taking any more character submissions. However, we are still accepting donations. So if that's something you felt like doing, the widget will still be there. Just again, no character submissions now.
Yep, so I'm just really quickly, I'm changing the widget underneath the stream just to let people know that character submissions are closed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3. Am I numbering right? 1, 2. Okay, we have 3 characters left from what I can tell. And Orthodox and ClovenCast, you guys were both absolute legends for donating $50 each. Is just legends.
Too many good people. Right.
So
We're
we
like
are
72% of our goal. That's amazing, guys.
It really is, all things considered. So I think what we'll go ahead and do is we've got 3 characters left to critique. So the first one we have, hey Christy, we're critiquing a D&D character. We're critiquing a D&D character.
Oh.
And I think Tabaxi.
I was about to say it has to be a Tabaxi. That's like the only D&D thing other than like maybe a Dragonborn. That would be a furry.
I mean,
It's a bard. A very sparkly bard.
sparkly. I hear intense
I
typing.
have so much to say right off the bat, but I'm gonna let Maple talk.
All right, Maple, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, here we go.
So, like the character, I am digging him quite a bit. Stuff I would change is the kind of fur on his face. Now, I'm not sure if it's trying to emulate a beard, but I know that I'm not quite digging it. I feel like it would be better as like a white kind of face. And then going down, just having more whiteness to it than the gray, like the dark gray. Just I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way. Stay the same in the tail as well. I am kind of noticing if that's like a smiley face on his ear, so that's interesting. I'll say it's interesting. And he's looking really modern for a D&D character. I don't play D&D, so I know that there can be different themes, and I don't know the campaign, but I mean, if anything, you know what? It's fine. Not bad, just fine, in my opinion. Spring?
Okay, sorry. I was dealing with the donation via DMs. Let me know when we get to Fiora, because I have their stuff. This lovely character that you've bestowed upon us. This is an interesting color palette. I don't think I've seen. Okay, this is not me saying it's a bad thing. When I say this is an interesting palette cover, words. I dig it because it's sparkly. But I'm trying to process this. Like, is that a smiley face on the ear? Like,
yeah, I thought it was an anime eye.
Oh, kind of like that. I think I'm not sure how to make of this character. My brain is trying to there's a lot going on, I think, is what I'm going to say about this character. But I'm not mad because it's a bard. But just a lot. Animechristy?
Okay, so this has been on my mind ever since I saw this character. It looks like a bard Elvis. It's got the finger guns and everything. It's got all the sparklies. All it needs is like the friggin' Elvis suit, but that would not fit through medieval times. I will say one of the weird things that is messing with me is that there's no like with the ear, for example, it kind of blends in with like the hair that's going over the eyes, and I feel like there needs to be more of a cutoff point to where we can see like where the hair begins from the back and over the ear. And I'm sorry, this guy's just straight up Elvis for me. Sparkles and everything. Thank you very much. Spirit.
Yeah, I'm taking a look. I think the readability is my main issue here, is that I think it's very difficult, especially when you have a dark character. It's difficult to read their expressions if their line work and their expression are the same color, so to speak. So I think it's definitely an instance where there's a lot going on. So I think what I would do is that in order to really emphasize the face and make the expression more readable, I would lighten up the face, adding this more golden color palette here. And then I would put more gold on the face, which will help lighten up the face. And then by proxy, when the character is drawn again, there will be more, it'll be easier to read the character. I do think, aside from that, yeah, I'm kind of the mind that there's a lot going on here. The main color triad we have going on here is of a black, of a gold, and of a white. So having the blue, I think the blue is fine as, what's the word? Tertiary? It just needs to be toned down a little bit. A little less of a vibrant blue. Because, especially, like, I'm also, my eye keeps getting drawn to this little red thing on the hip. I'm not entirely sure what it is. But, you really do not want to have any focal point that's away from the face if it's out of the color triad. So, and it's the timer. So yeah, just be aware of what you feature on your character's details. And remember, the eye should always go to the face. Face is the focal point. Main focal point, with anything else being secondary. But thank you for donating. And that was by Doodlebug, like the artwork was by Doodlebug Doge. So, go check out their table in the vendor hall. Our next one, so we have, Fiara is going to be last, by the way, Spring, on the roster. So we have a submission by Kanisu of Dragons. So, let me go ahead, scale it up real quick, if I can do this properly. And I'm gonna drop it in the recording room. Okay, and just to give everyone a fair warning, we have 20 minutes left, so after 20 minutes, we will be calling it a day. So, starting the timer in 3, 2, 1.
Well, first of all, I think I'm going to say it's safe to assume this is like a Spyro, like artisan world kind of character going on here. Interesting take with the spray paint. I like how his base design is more simple. That way it allows more for kind of the splotchy, like the splotches with the like the spray paint going on. One thing, and I know it's supposed to like represent kind of like a dirty mess, but I would maybe try and make that like artsy, dirty mess a bit more brighter and livelier, I guess, and maybe not as scattered. I know it's supposed to be a mess, but it's I don't know, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit, where it's just like it doesn't feel like it feels like an artificial mess, you know, where it's like if I wouldn't even know a good example. But I would hope everybody kind of knows what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Like, they purposefully kind of put all the mess there instead of just letting it happen naturally. But yeah, again, decent character. Kind of like I like the idea going on with them, so I'll just kind of just pass it off to Spring there.
Okay. As someone, so something nice. I like the fact there's paint on the horns, but as someone who did scenic paint in high school, or sorry, college, wow, words, not escaping my mouth properly. Paint would not be all over the body. Like, unless he's doing paintball. Like, I don't know if he's doing paintball, but it doesn't look like he's doing paintball. This looks like he's a graffiti artist. So if he had splashes of paint, it would be in very specific areas, like the cuffs and the front of the shirt, where you like, you've painted for a while and you've wiped it on yourself, or you've done a splatter with a paintbrush and the splatter has hit you. It wouldn't be like in the turtleneck area. Like, yeah, there could be a smudge on his face when he's accidentally, like, he's got an itch on his face and he's rubbed his cheek. And yeah, it's too, like, it wouldn't, too much. It'd be in very designated areas on his person. Animechristy?
Okay, I'm gonna humbly disagree with that because
I'll go get my paint clothes.
Medium, but I've from my own personal experience, I get paint all over me whenever I'm like in class in a very, very long session, which is why whenever I go paint, I never take any nice clothing with me. I had paint on my face one time and I didn't even realize it. I didn't even like wipe it in there. It was just straight up on my face. Anyways, regarding this character, I like the minimalist aspect of it. The color palette definitely, it's solid, and I like the little rainbow effects, though I do agree that it is a little unrealistic in the sense of like a spray paint, because I haven't personally worked with spray paint, but I imagine that it would not look like splatters of paint like it does here. It would be more airbrushed on. Spirit?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now, with the whole thing. And let me bring this forward real quick, just so that we can see a comparison. Is that, as someone who had a lot of, I took a lot of painting classes when it came to my college, round before I had to come home for COVID and everything like that. But as someone who also did the painting things, generally, yeah, I agree there's a little too much going on when it comes to the paint, and it's drawing the eye away from the face. So my recommendation would be to put the paint in the most frequent traffic areas, for lack of a better word. So I'm kind of with spring. You're going to want to put the paint near the tip of the tool itself, so by the paint nozzle, because these airbrushes will actually drip after a while. You're going to, you can have a little bit here on the face, and then you're going to have it usually on the sleeves, where the pants would be, and here at the base of the shirt. So sleeves, base of the shirt, everything like that. That's not to say that they can't get paint all over them, but when it comes to working... Timer. But yeah, when it comes to working with paint, like airbrush especially, it's not going to be as messy as if you're working with other stuff, because you're not holding the tool that has the paint, like, physically on it. But anyway, that's my aspect. Thank you for submitting and donating, Kenisu. We're gonna go ahead and move on to Possum Princess. Copy image. And we are in our final people for the night. So drop this in the chat. And timer in 3, 2, 1.
Well, I absolutely adore this little guy. I think that the color palette works well. Again, I'm no professional, but hey, to a simpleton like I think it looks mucho good. And you just look, maybe I put a little bit more like hair tufts on the head, but like that's maybe the only thing I would really do and change with this character. So yeah, it's just good old positive vibes over here from me. So I'm just gonna toss the ball to Spring.
And I'm gonna catch the ball. I absolutely love the detail you put on the tail, like that color, the 4 color. Look at that! It fills me with so much joy. I can't verbally express how much I love that color transition right there. Something I think I'm not 100% loving is so you have these like little wraparounds on the back, and it might just be like the arms in the way at the front view, but just bring the top two closer to the middle yellow area, and the maybe reshape the knee ones is all I gotta say. Animechristy?
Okay, so the color palette is very evenly distributed for me. Like, there's no point where I don't like want to say like I don't see a point where I'd ever say, "Oh, my eye is only specifically drawn to this." No, the color palette seems to go like all around evenly, which is kind of hard to do based on like some of the designs that we've seen so far. But I really like this. I'm also not a fan of like that wraparound like on the back, like those stripes. I'm not sure how that would work personally. But I still say solid character design, solid color work. It works so good. Spirit?
Okay, I only have one critique, and that is that it is difficult to see the eyes in the rest of the character design. And so this is where I would actually break the color triad rule a little bit, is that I would make the eyes warm colored. I know sometimes warm colored eyes in marsupials and rodents generally means blindness or albinism, but in this case, I think I literally just took a darker shade, a little bit of a warmer shade too, of the ear and the nose color, which will help make the eyes stand out a little bit more against the rest of the character. And other than that, you don't even have to worry about distributing that color throughout the rest of the body because it will draw the eye to the face, and because there is a higher tint of the ears, like the ears and the nose and everything like that are that higher tint, so you don't have to worry about further distribution. But other than that, that is all that I would really change. So thank you for donating, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead. We are in the final two. We got Skiggles and then Fiara. So Skiggles, copy image. We got. I think we got a Pony OC here, boys.
Ooh.
Well, hot damn.
Oh wow.
And we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna drop this in the recording room. And Maple, timer on in 3, 2, 1.
Well, it's not every day you see a hot pink zebra with the like feathering going on, so you know what? Very interesting. And a different take on zebras. I would almost say like maybe if it were my guess would be she's half zebra, half pony, which you know what? All right, I'm all right with that. But with that, maybe what I would do is I would also reflect the pink into like have just a different color pink replacing the black or like the dark gray, instead of having that. It just, I feel like that would help her pop a bit more as a character, especially as a My Little Pony character as well. Honestly, I think that's the biggest thing that's throwing me off about her. But other than that, again, not bad for a character design.
All right. I freaking love this concept of a character. Like, oh, like, who would have, like, red, pink, zebra? Like, my brain just, I love it. So 10 out of 10 on that front. I think one of the things that I would adjust is you have the yellow hooves. Maybe make those like white or black to go with the color theme. And you have a lot of accessories. Maybe lose a few. And Macristy?
Okay, so At first I was just kind of tilting my head. I still kind of am because it's like there's something about this character that not necessarily I don't like. However, it threw me off, and I think you summarized it with like the hooves that are
Mhm.
kind of throwing me off because part of me feels like it may be a little sunburned. I'm
Mm.
sorry, that's terrible. Anyways, I definitely agree with like losing some accessories, like maybe that bow like on its tail probably help. I'm not sure. Spirit?
Okay, I made an observation of this, and people can correct me, but this looks like a Zakora x Big Mac ship character.
Maybe.
I was getting Big Mac vibes from the hooves and the
the hooves and the fact that there's freckles and the turquoise eyes.
Mhm.
And here's what I would say is that if you're going to keep the accessories, I would recommend reducing the number of accessories that you have to ensure that the eye gets drawn to the face. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going for this little line art. Is to make the accessories a darker tone or a darker shade of the main body color. So we've got, if you're gonna go with the core triad, I'm gonna keep referencing back to this because this is what we learn in art school. Is it's gonna be pink, the grays, so that gray and then the lighter gray, because these are shades of each other, and then the turquoise. That's your color set. You don't want to go anywhere beyond that. So adding anything beyond that is going to overwhelm the character design, and this includes the cutie mark. So I would recommend, my recommendation is that cutie marks are meant to be very simple, with the exception of Twilight's.
No, there's some complicated ones.
There are some complicated ones, but they fit with the color triads of the character. So I would recommend, if you're going to do that, either make them white or make the spots black.
I almost wonder, like, if you took that kind of deep red magenta they put in the bow and the flower and changed up her hair and like the body markings with that, like with that color, and how that would look, if that makes sense.
I'm giving it a shot. That's another thing too, is that the zebras in the show MLP actually have colored stripes. I know that they match with the color, but they're generally a little bit more subtle. You can't see that.
I'm not hating it, but
we are out of time, so we're gonna have to move on from this one. Thank you for your submission. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our last one is Fiara. Spring, do you have that one?
Yeah, she posted it in the. Well, she gave me both, so I'll give her the one that she posted in the chat because that was after.
Okay, so we're critiquing Fiara's main character, and this is going to be the last one of the night, guys. So let's scale this down and get to cracking. And I'm gonna refrain from trying to edit this one because this one's gonna be very hard to edit. So I'm going to scale down, duplicate, and I'm gonna let you guys talk while I do my thing. So.
Alright.
I'm getting you the timer. Give me 2 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, Fallout character. I've been in a Fallout mood lately, so I like seeing it. There's a lot going on with her color scheme. I will say that. This is a personal preference of mine, but I don't like bright colors as the main body. It's just it's too much for me personally. But with that said, I'm not sure if a lime green really fits with the kind of dystopian feel that Fallout has. But it's, like, outside of that, just as a regular pony character, I mean, bright colors, you do you. And then with the main, I would say pick between the red and the orange. You can't have both. Like if maybe you want to have both, like exchange the pink in the eye for one of them. But yeah, other than that, and the cutie mark is a little, I'm not sure, I can't quite see it, but that's also kind of throwing me off with some of the color themes going on. But yeah, this character has potential, I will say that. Frank?
All right. Yeah. Now, keep your neon radioactive. Oh my gosh, you're wandering through the wasteland and now you're a target neon green. Keep that. I love it. It's great. The Fallout universe is so bland and dreary, and every time you find clothes, they are just like, no one's washed those in years. Like, keep that. I like that. Because everyone's clothes are boring and drab and sad times. So, the thing I would suggest is maybe, the hair would be picky. And the hooves, maybe I would suggest would be like add a little fluff down there for a transition between the green and the white. Animechristy?
Okay, so it's complicated for me because I don't completely dislike the neon colors since, this is a My Little Pony character in a Fallout universe. However, it's still a little conflicting because while I don't know much about Fallout, I know it is a post-apocalyptic world. However, my main issue comes from there's way too much color in this character. You got white, you got red, you got these magenta eyes, you got that super bright lime green, which honestly I'd change the hue of just a little bit. Then you got like the Fallout outfit with like that pale yellow, I don't know what color to describe that blue, but it's like a dark smoky denim. And then you got like the bronze brass color to it. And then the tail also has like orange in it. I think the color palette just needs to be limited by at least like one or two colors to make it work for me. Spirit?
Okay, this is going into my methodology here of designing a character for a story versus designing a character for a character's sake. So this is, I know for a fact that Fiara's got, Fiara has a book series that features this character, if I understand correctly. And one of the things that I need to point out is that when you're designing a character for a book, the character's features have to be there for a reason. So in the cases like the character, I would change the core color triad. I would either choose between a red, an orange, or the purple, because right now it's a very overwhelming design, and it's also very difficult to replicate because the more colors that you have on a character, the more difficult it's going to be for them to be redrawn. So right now, I'm working up a mock-up color palette. Now, I know that, I know Fallout's a very dreary universe, and the one thing about the Fallout Equestria universe is that the ponies are made somewhat, at least from what I can gather, they are made in the context of that landscape. Like, even, I haven't read the original Fallout Equestria, at least not fully, but Little Pip and all the other characters in the story still have a little bit more of a muted color palette because it will give them a benefit in the long run. But right now, what I'm looking at is that we can see, and that's it on the timer, but I really want to quickly wrap this up because this is something that is important to me, is that when creating a character for a universe, and this is just me from my personal writing discipline, is that you have to design the character in fitting with the themes and the story that you're going to be going with. So if I were to design this character, the green is still feasible. I would focus on a color triad because that's the thing, is that the vault jumpsuits also add an additional thing into that color triad. So right now the current design is very overwhelming. So if you are going to keep the red and the orange, there has to be a reason for it in the character's story. Whether it be something along the lines of they are some form of super mutant or some other genetic tampering, or if it is some sort of, like, there has to be a reason for that being that way. It can't just be this character looks this way because this character looks this way. So that is going to be all for today's very, very long, very, like, you guys are awesome. And thank you, Kanisu, for breaking our $400. We broke $400. We didn't quite reach our $500 goal today. But thank you to everyone who donated and who ended up helping us in supporting Feeding America. You guys are the ones that are helping make this event possible. So, for those watching on YouTube, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and check us out on our Twitter account. And for those watching us on the stream, if you would like to keep up with the ClovenCast as well as watch the, not only previous episodes, but watch the replay of this when it goes up, be sure to check the widgets below. You can check out the Twitter as well as the podcast. And if you are a part, if you haven't taken part in RAMCon just yet, be sure to join the Discord server and check out the website. So that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.